Off Limits is a YouTube video series that takes viewers behind the scenes to exciting locations with inspiring STEM role models, starring host Dr. Larissa.
Trains will just drag you all the way up. And then the unique part about this ride is that it has another set of chains that will transfer you just before it drops.
So that second set of chains just holds you there, so you're just looking down the straight drop.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, in each video, Dr. Larissa brings viewers to a new unauthorized access point, from riding the Yukon Striker right there at Canada's Wonderland with a mechanical engineer, or tasting astronaut food at the Canadian Space Agency, or putting out fires with a firefighter. Viewers go off limits, get to meet inspiring women, non-binary and gender non-conforming engineers, tradespeople, and scientists along the way, plus nationwide STEM challenges for girls, non-binary, and gender non-conforming youth. Dr. Larissa is joining us now here on CP24 Breakfast. We talked to you a couple of weeks ago over Zoom. Here you are in person. It's great to see you because, of course, this is really nice to actually chat with people in person. So let's talk about, since we spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, did you get a little bit of a reaction or pickup from, getting people to sort of direct it to your YouTube channels? Yeah,
we've had great pickup. We've had really positive feedback to the first video of the series, where we went off limits to Wonderland to meet with a roller coaster engineer and learn all about engineering and the STEM behind roller coasters.
And I know there's kind of a connection to a Canada's Wonderland contest, and we've got this awesome looking fake roller coaster, I guess, in front of us here. So tell us about this and tell us about the contest as we give a little sort of play-by-play, I guess.
Yeah, each of our videos is paired with a STEM challenge that girls, non-binary, and gender non-conforming youth ages 7 to 17 are invited to enter. And so this challenge involves making a marble roller coaster, and the winner is going to be the person who can make the biggest loop.
Okay. Right.
So I've got a marble roller coaster here. Right. I made it myself. I can't guarantee that it will work, but this is live. We'll see if it works. So here's the marble, and oh, there it goes.
Pretty good.
It made it through the loop.
Yeah, okay. So, and what is the idea that anybody sort of taking part in this posts their video to YouTube? Is that the idea?
So they can submit their videos online at our website, and then the winning video will be posted afterwards.
Right, okay. We also talked about fighting fires as one of the sort of behind-the-scenes things you got to do. Can you talk a little bit about that? I know that video hasn't come out yet necessarily, but just give us a bit of a hint of what's to come and what people are going to learn and see.
Yeah, so women are really underrepresented in firefighting and in so many different professions, but one of our videos involves going behind the scenes with firefighters who are firefighters in training, and so I got to learn how to actually maneuver the hose, how to enter a burning building, and watch firefighters training with a real fire.
It's not easy, is it?
It isn't easy.
So let's talk about the importance of this series overall as well, because you mentioned women, non-binary, gender non-conforming. There's such a focus here on getting people into the STEM sort of industries, as it were, or so the STEM sort of courses, etc. How important do you feel doing this and undertaking this, knowing what's at stake almost?
So women are still really underrepresented in STEM fields, as are gender non-conforming, non-binary. We don't have stats in that case. But children and teens are really influenced by who they see in those professions. So who they see in the media, who they see in magazines, just in their daily lives. And so when they see role models who are representative of themselves, it actually increases interest in learning about those fields and in entering those fields. So for us, it's really important to make sure we're showcasing all of these inspiring role models. Okay,
Dr. Larissa, before I let you go, where can people find the website and sort of find the stuff for the contest?
They can visit us at girlsandscience.ca, click on the Off Limits tab at the top of the page.
All right, good stuff. Good luck with the roller coasters, and thanks so much. Perhaps we'll check in with you soon.
Thank you.
Before I broke 'em, I broke the chains before they choked me out. Now I paid close attention, really learned the code. I learned to read the map before I hit the road.
Hey yo, I know you never heard this before, but I'd rather lose a fight than miss the war. And I ain't wishing competition or fishing for it. I'm just living in a system, conditions are poor. I've been lost in the rhythm and misinformed. Too many late nights hitting the liquor store. Too many bad decisions.
Can you believe it's already been a full decade since Inner Ninja made waves on multiple Billboard charts?
Well, rapper Classified is celebrating that milestone and more with a brand new acoustic album and cross-country tour. And Classified joins us live in studio on CP24 Breakfast this morning. Good morning, Classified. So good to have you in the studio with us. So first of all, congratulations on putting together this new album.
Thank you.
It's very unique, perhaps the first in Canada, maybe the world.
I'd like to say that. I'd like to say that.
Right?
Yeah.
Acoustic and hip-hop. Very interesting sounds because you have the beautiful melodic strumming of the guitar with your rapping. So how did this come together?
It actually started from doing a couple shows with just me and my guitar player, stripping the songs away. And I just noticed people reacting to lyrics, storytelling and stuff like that, which happens a lot of in hip-hop. But, you know, sometimes the big beats, the heavy bass kind of clads that. And we did a couple shows, and I started seeing people in the crowd just different emotions I never saw in my last 20 years of playing shows. I'm seeing people tearing up, laughing at certain things, and it was like, okay. People are taking these lyrics a different way when you kind of strip everything back, and that's kind of what sparked the whole idea. And
the songs definitely sound different, and we played the original Inner Ninja just now in the introduction, but if you go and you check on YouTube, the new acoustic Inner Ninja, I mean, it's got the East Coast vibe, which of course represents you as well, but it's got that, you know, campfire feel to it as well here, right? It's really interesting to see that. Were you surprised at how the song sounded different when you sort of played guitar to it rather than, like you said, the big beats and everything else?
Yeah, well, that's the vibe I wanted to have. I wanted, you know, the original was what it was, but I wanted to feel like me and a couple of the boys were sitting around a campfire. The guys put up the guitar and said, hey, remember this song? And just started strumming, which, you know, Matt Mays helped me with that song a lot, who, you know, he does a lot of this type of music over the years. But yeah, no, I think it was just cool to, that's not the first version I tried either. I tried another version, but it just didn't quite work. And then when we hit this one, I was like, yeah, that's the vibe I wanted to feel like. So.
Yeah, so it sounds like it was very fun for you experimenting with the different sounds in this new way. And I mean, these are songs that you've done before, but they're being reimagined with this new acoustic spin. And you're partnering up with some pretty big Canadian heavy hitter artists as well.
Yeah, I got lucky. I got lucky.
Jan Arden, Havaya Mighty, among so many others. So talk about that collaboration and what it was like.
And like you said, that was the fun part of it. The songs were already wrote, and that's kind of usually the hard work, me by myself. Let me figure this out. That was done, so it was like, okay, let's reach out to Jan Arden, see if she wants to sing the hook on this. And, you know, Havaya Mighty, Mercules, Dallas Smith, a lot of different genres too. So there's country, hip hop, pop, R&B, Julie Black. And it was just cool to connect with a lot of these artists I met over the years, built relationships, and finally got a chance to work on something. And they were open to it, especially someone like Jan Arden, who I don't really have a relationship with. Yeah. But she loved the song. She ended up doing the video with us. And Jan could be doing something else. She doesn't need to be doing a song Classified. So that's, you know, you get that love and it feels good.
So have you changed, or is it just that you've changed the music behind the lyrics? I mean, are you evolving as an artist? How would you describe it?
I think I'm always evolving, just, you know, growing, getting older, getting more interested. Like, I'm a producer as well. So, you know, all these beats from these songs, I made them, and then to be able to kind of flip it 10, 15 years later and go, if I did this today, how would I do it? You know, so it was fun that way. It's just, I think anything after being in the industry for 15, 20 years, you can find something new to do and it excites you. Like, that's why I keep doing this.
Right. Okay. Well, Classified, I know you have an upcoming tour cross country in the fall, and a book coming out, Off the Beaten Path, as well.
But that's part of the tour as well. Like, we're going out to promote that as well. But yeah, just COVID life, I guess, you know, sitting home, and a company reached out and wanted to write a book, so I was down,
All exciting things ahead for you, Classified. Thanks so much for joining us on CP24 Breakfast.
Thank you. Good to be out of Nova Scotia again. It's been too long.
Good to chat with the Classified. Take care. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, kids of all ages, get ready to wiggle. The Wiggles are coming to Canada this fall for the first time in 3 years. It's all part of their big show tour. They're going to have stops in Oshawa and also here in Toronto. And here to wet your whistle is Anthony Blue Wiggle and the latest addition to the family, Sahai, the new Yellow Wiggle. Good morning, Wiggles.
Oh, good morning.
And welcome to Canadian Land. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Sahai, we got to start with you. You're the newest Wiggle. You're the new kid on the block, so to speak. This must be kind of a dream come true, I would assume.
Definitely. Growing up watching the Wiggles and being a fan to now being a Wiggle is a full circle moment, and I absolutely love every minute of it. Touring, meeting families, dancing, singing, my passion.
Awesome. Andrew, you're a founding member of the Wiggles. You've been doing this for a while. To be able to scratch that itch finally after 3 years, almost 3 years since the pandemic, it's got to feel good, huh?
Musicians all around the world have missed out on playing for audiences. we did a tour of Australia just before we came here, of the country areas, and it was just so beautiful. Children, their first concert, you know, they haven't been able to go out, and families were so happy to be out there enjoying music again together.
Sure, because the lockdown was hard on everyone, as performers, but as fans of music too, because we couldn't get out and watch, you know, others do the work as well, right?
Yeah.
So now you're new to the Wiggle family. I'm assuming, okay, you had a chance to do some shows back home. The feedback from the fans, what's that been like? That love, that affection, that familiarity?
Yeah, it's been really wonderful, and I was definitely like nervous for being a new Yellow Wiggle because of like how big the role is, and it was so amazing how many people just had positive feedback and how many people embraced me just in the show. Like I was coming up to shows and kids were wearing sunflowers like me, and like it catched on so quickly.
That's so sweet.
And it's so beautiful to see little children of colour too, like dancing along with me, and it's beautiful, and I'm loving performing.
Awesome. Andrew, so the new tour is called the Big Show Tour. Yep. So as Blue Wiggle, what's old, new, borrowed, and blue?
Oh, well, you know what? Well, we've got a bigger Wiggles. It used to be 4 Wiggles in the big red car. Now it's 8 Wiggles. So we've got 2 yellow Wiggles, 2 blue Wiggles, 2 red Wiggles, 2 purple Wiggles. So the biggest cast we've ever taken to Canada, and it's twice the fun. We've got all our characters, all the music from 32 years of wiggling, and we will be powered by the Canadian coffee. We can't wait.
Awesome, man. It is good stuff. Yeah, a 30-year history. I mean, that's something. And you know, obviously, since you were, you know, able to comprehend anything, this has been part of your childhood from day one, right?
Definitely. That's what started my love for music and dance, was hearing Wiggles on repeat around the household for my parents, so I was always dancing to it. So it's really amazing that I can be part of this legacy.
It's a lot. It's a pretty intense tour, though, right? You're going to be doing a lot of gigs in Canada. I mean, you're going around the world, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, we are. But you know, in Canada, what's brilliant is the drives. From Australia, same thing, between cities is a long drive. We all love driving, and we love seeing the country and seeing the culture, being part of the culture. We just can't wait to get out there and see Canada, as well as meet all the people.
That's great. I'm glad you're doing that, because flyover is one thing, but to be on the ground, it is a massive country, but it's a great place, and you can see the differences in the places you go. But the one thing that brings everyone together, Wiggles. It's music, Wiggles
That's
culture.
Right.
Thank you so much, both of you. It doesn't end here. Let me tell you this, because we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to get a performance from the Wiggles, one of their new tracks, and we're going to be giving away some tickets, a family 4-pack to the Toronto show. That's coming up October the 9th. You don't want to miss that. Wiggles, take a break now. Save it up.
Take it easy.
Prep those voices, prep those moves.
All right, well, if this current heat and certainly listening to this beat has you feeling tropical, well, you may as well embrace it. Coming to Ajax Downs on July 27th is Carnival City, 12 days of Caribbean-inspired fun, incredible food, performers, dancing, and of course, music.
Yes, gotta love that music. Wendy Jones is the leader of Pan Fantasy Steel Band, and she joins us live now on CP24 Breakfast. Wendy, good morning to you. I love listening to the sounds of the steel bands because, you know, it's transporting. And at a time when the airports are kind of chaotic, you don't have to get on a flight. You can just experience this Carnival City coming on July 27th, 12 days of basically Caribbean immersion in the community. So tell us what it's about. What can we expect over these 12 days?
Well, over the 12 days, you can expect the mass factor. That's number one. And then we have the calypso. We have the steel bands are going to be pan in the north. And we've got emancipation happening. We've got food, culture, music, and everything your heart's desired outside of the Caribbean. So we're bringing the Caribbean to you. We're bringing all factors of music and dance. It's going to be amazing, and we're looking forward to this, so we hope everybody can join us. House of Culture is doing this for the community, and Ajax Down is going to be just scintillating, but music and food especially.
Yes.
This is going to be amazing, and we're inviting everybody out to this, you know? And the steel bands are going to be there, of course.
And Wendy, I love that while you're speaking to us, I can see you kind of swaying and like moving to the music here. So tell us a little more about Pan Fantasy Band, like where this all began and what you guys get up to now.
Well, Pan Fantasy Steel Band is celebrating 35 years this year. This is our anniversary. And we are going to be performing at different venues along the holiday carnival seasons. And most of all, we're going to be at Ajax Downs on the 7th with other steel bands. And that is the day that we want people to come out also, you know, to see the bands. But we are #1 steel band. It's one of the #1 steel bands in Toronto. And we just love what we do. This is about culture. And we love music. And I love music. You know, this is, you should be here right now.
Oh, yeah.
No kidding,
That music just makes you so happy, takes you away. Wendy, talk about these events. Is it for everybody, a family-filled affair? And where can people get tickets? How does it work?
It's going to be a family affair. You can buy tickets online at houseofculture.ca. And, you know, there's packages for families, of course. This is for the whole family. You can come out, you know, bring everyone. Your mommy, daddy, we call it the nenens and the grand aunties and everybody you can think of. This is going to be an amazing event, 12 days of culture. House of Culture is representing in Toronto, and we are looking forward. You know, going out to Ajax Downs is going to be amazing, you know, and we hope that everyone can join us. Buy your tickets online, or you can see, you know, you talk to Mr. Jerry Weeks, he's the director. And I mean, you Google us. We're on websites, Instagram, everywhere you can find us on the handles. So we're hoping that we get a great turnout this year, you know?
No doubt. And you know, Wendy, just really quickly, I'm sure in a couple of words, there must be a real relief after the sort of pandemic pause we've had to have the music coming back, right?
It's amazing to have the music back. This is what we've all hoped for. Being locked down for 2 years, music is something that gives life to the mind, and for us, we enjoy it. And everyone is so excited to be out again. Pan Fantasy Steel Band is entertaining all across the city. We're going to be at Pan Alive and different events, and we're looking forward to that, you know? And that's the main thing, bringing the culture back to the city of Toronto.
Absolutely. What a treat it's going to be. So, Wendy, speaking of entertainment, we're going to let you and the Pan Fantasy Steel Band close us off on this show on CP24 Breakfast. Thanks for joining us to talk about the Carnival City, and good luck with the event. We'll see you soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Wendy.
Thank you.
All right, don't say we didn't warn you. Consider this your spoiler alert. Another queen was eliminated in last night's episode of Canada's Drag Race Season 3. Here's how it went down.
Miss Mosu, you may be a quiet queen, but it is loud and clear that you are a star. Thank you. Now sashay away.
Love you. Love you.
She came and she found her waist.
Miss Mosu, you may be a quiet queen, but it is loud and clear that you are a star.
Thank you.
Now sashay away.
Love you. Love you.
All right, and joining me now is Miss Mosu from Toronto. Welcome to CP24 Breakfast.
Thanks for having me, George.
It is so great to see you. Love the outfit.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thanks.
TDF. Look, you had a short run, right? It looked like fun from my side of the screen. So how are you feeling about the experience? You've had a little time to marinate now. What's going on?
Honestly, feeling great. Loved the idea of getting there. I've worked so hard to be there, and I was so excited. Realized it was a little more than I could handle.
Now, what was the biggest challenge for you? And when it came to the competition and the competitors, was it what you kind of envisioned in your mind's eye going in?
No. Like nothing like you see on TV until you get there. I'm an introverted person, so I think that was my biggest downfall coming into the competition.
Why do you say that?
I'm on the like more mellow, shy side when everyone else is like 100, even when the cameras are off. So
I see.
Yeah, that part was a bit difficult for me.
But sometimes the quiet can help. I mean, trying to find a center. Yeah. When everything else around you is going like a tornado.
That and like, I'm observing, and I'm just kind of getting my bearings.
Now, ultimately, this is a contest, right? I'm going to assume that all of you are Type A's. You're all out there to compete, to win. It's $100,000. But watching the show, and I watched the episode kind of twice in order to make sure it kind of absorbed, I felt this kind of genuine sorority coming through, right? This is a community that I think is small in size, but is very big in its scope and its warmth. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The community in itself, outside of Drag Race, that community is so strong. And on the show, we're all in it together. We feel that, and the sisterhood that we create, it's really quite special.
Now, you're known in Toronto as being the businesswoman of drag.
That's me.
You do a lot of work here, obviously, but overseas too. Tell us a bit about what happens in Portugal.
So I moved to Portugal end of 2015, right before I started drag. Kind of there just to work on my art, found a little niche for myself and created Miss Drag Lisboa, a drag pageant that I host and produce every year, and I'll be back there in September.
What's the community like in Lisbon? I mean, it's just a beautiful city.
It's gorgeous. It's small, tight-knit. When I moved there wasn't too much happening, which is why I started this pageant.
Have you considered taking this thing elsewhere as a sort of franchise?
I'll leave that for you to find out.
That was some drama, let me tell you. Now, off stage, and when you're not working, you also do portrait, among other things, portrait photography. How do you, sort of provoke and test assumptions with your work? What's the content?
I love photographing real people, and a few years ago I started a portrait series where I focused on the male form and kind of combating the issues that were on queer dating apps and the no fats, no femmes, and I just wanted to showcase that all bodies are beautiful.
Will you have lasting relationships coming out of the show? I mean, because obviously there's people, you're from all points across the country, and some people from, some queens from places that had never come before. I know you weren't there for a long time, but were you able to establish some real connection?
Absolutely. There was one thing that wasn't shown when I exited. It was like a good 5 minutes of everyone trying to say goodbye to me as I was standing at the end of the runway, and like in such a short amount of time creating such strong connections. And we have a group chat, so we talk every day. So yeah, it's
that's great.
We are bonded for life.
Now the show is very, the show's very slick. It's very structured. It's very scripted. It's there's not a lot left to kind of, there's not a second wasted of airtime. But what was the dynamic like between host, judges, and you as a contestant? What was that like?
I mean, you're talking to a bit of a control freak over here.
That's kind of what I was assuming.
Oh, could you tell?
A little bit.
So I got in there and I was like, I can't control anything. But other than that, like everyone on set, judges, crew, audio, just absolute beautiful people. And it made my time there feel really special.
What about lessons learned? What have you learned about you and your work, the show, everything?
I've learned more about myself and how I react in situations. I was sure I'd have one panic attack while I was there, and something in me just kept me strong as a statue the whole time. So I know that I can get through anything.
Last thing, summer plans, but who takes the crown and the 100K, in your opinion?
I mean, I have to shout out my bestie, Jada Hudson. Like I said, if there was one of those girls who were going to send me home, it would have been her, and I think she's got it in the bag.
Awesome. Ms. Mosu, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry it didn't work out, but I think everything else is working out.
Please don't be sorry. I'm going to be fine.
I think you will. Good stuff. Great to have you on the show. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.